Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Inner Kid King Keto. I'm Linda Schiller Hanna. Glad to welcome you. This is number 6 in a series, an ongoing series where we're going to be discussing the emotional piece, the feeling piece, even the practical piece of adopting a keto food plan into your life. One of my favorite sayings of all is, "The readiness is all." Shakespeare said that, and I used to have that posted on my refrigerator 30, 40 years ago, and I still believe it. So if you're with me today, you may be considering, not ready yet, not starting yet, but considering moving into a keto style food plan. I don't want to really call it a diet. I want to call it a food plan or a food choice. I think diet makes us kind of, it has a loaded word. Now, I've had some amazing experiences in my life, and probably, I don't know, 25 years ago, I had the opportunity to visit an animal sanctuary in, I think it was Oklahoma City. I know it was in Oklahoma. And I was asked to do some Reiki on a baby lion, and the baby lion's name was Daniel. And here's a picture of me holding the lion. Daniel's neck had been injured from a cage accident, and so he was kind of weak, and several of us went there to do the Reiki on him. Only had the pleasure of being there one day. But it was quite a large sanctuary, and one of the owners had a tiger cage, a great big round circular fenced in area, just like you might see at the zoo, with a couple of tigers in there. And he said they were teenage tigers. Well, my girlfriend Aya was with me, and he said, "Would you like to go in and pet the tiger?" And she said, "Okay." And that brave woman just walked in there, went in and pet the tiger right on the top of his head. I was not as brave as her, but I watched it and I considered it, and I made a heart connection with the tiger, and I asked the tiger not to bite me. And I very gingerly walked in and slowly patted his butt and then got back out quietly. So because I've had that experience of actually petting a tiger, I use the analogy of circling the tiger whenever I'm having issues with fear, overcoming resistance, wondering if I'm ready. So I'm putting together the concept of the readiness is all and circling the tiger into this particular lesson today. Now I have little Linda up there. You can see her. She's holding a little tiger puppet. In fact, I'll bring her close. And because it's a toy tiger, little Linda can handle it. She has no fear. And maybe your inner child has no fear either. I don't know. But anyway, here's my little tiger. So little Linda can hang on to the tiger. I'm going to put her back up. One of my first fears in getting involved in a keto plan, which I started only about 3 or 4 months ago, was what if I can't stick to it? I know my patterns. I can go on and off again. I may want to go back into the junk food. I've been an emotional eater for many, many years, most of my years, to be honest. What'll I do with that? One of the things I did with it is do some research on some kind of a sweet you could have that would help with those cravings on those anxious times. And I actually modified a recipe, and I call it I Can't Stand It. And if you're interested in that recipe, I'll have it available on my website pretty soon. As soon as the website's up, I'll give you access to that. But I made it, they're kind of like a little candy thing. And I made up a batch, maybe 30. And I may only eat one every 3 or 4 days when I'm having one of those I can't stand it moments. I'm ready to melt down. But I don't melt down by eating the whole batch. I don't melt down by going into a whole half-gallon of ice cream. I have one, and it calms me down. And it helps me feel like I'm not totally deprived. Because deprivation is another button for a lot of us. I'm actually wearing this bright orange outfit because of that sense of caution. A lot of us have caution whenever it comes to food changes. And I'm just owning that I've had caution too. I want you to do your own research on the keto food plan. It may not be right for you. It may not be right for everybody. It probably isn't. But for some of us, it's been a godsend. Now, yesterday I mentioned a book written by this wonderful lady, Georgia Ede. She was interviewed on Diary of a CEO, and I went and got the book. I actually got it from the library, 616.8527 EDE, if you want to look it up. Change your diet, change your mind. But the lady makes tons of sense. She's done the research. She is not histrionic. She is not overselling. She is quietly and calmly giving some real truth about food and the keto food plan. I'm not going to pretend that we don't have fear. And under that, we might have anger. We've talked about this before. But I'm going to encourage you, if you keep coming back and checking in with me, maybe just come along one day at a time. You may be getting your readiness together, or you may have already started. Now, I have fun in my art room. I've talked about it before. And last night I made a new painting, and here it is. This is kind of a collage. And you're going to say, what the heck is that? It certainly isn't a normal painting, but I'm going to describe it. So on this side, it's like IKK, Inner Kid Keto. That's kind of where we start, standing in the dark, isolated in our little circle. But then we want to have the courage to go over this abyss. It's got a river way down at the bottom, cliffs and everything. And here's a little footbridge. And together we're going to cross the bridge, holding hands with these little light specks, crossing the bridge together, going on into the other side to happily ever after. That's that sign that says happily ever after. I don't know if you can't see it. I've got flowers over here. I've got a thank you. I've got a happy sun. I've even got a beautiful dove up here. So it's just kind of a fun little collage of the keto journey. And yes, it is high consciousness. It is high-minded. It does take courage to try something new. So this is just a fun way to express the emotional breakthroughs, the courage it takes, whether it's petting the tiger or starting a new food plan and having a new relationship to food and to yourself. I don't need to say a lot about any of this today, other than thank you for at least thinking about it. I don't care if you don't join us or come along on our play. I mean, I care. It isn't that I don't care. I mean, it's obviously up to you. But I appreciate your keeping an open mind. And I heard about keto probably several years before I really began to explore and learn and take it seriously. I had to have a pacemaker put in a year ago. I had high cholesterol. I was, getting open years. The knees weren't handling the weight as well as they did when I was 30 or 40 or 50. So sometimes our health will squeeze us and push us into new ideas. It's either get old and decrepit and die, or find something new, pet the tiger, learn a new system, give yourself a new opportunity. So this is my message for today. It's a wake-up message. Be sure, no matter what, feed yourself love first. Feed yourself love first. Even giving little Linda the tiger to hold See that tiger don't bite that little girl? And I don't want to bite you. I will once more show you this book because I think it's breathtaking and life-changing. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by Georgia Ede. She really says it very, very well. It's helped people with ADD, people with autism, people with epilepsy, seizures, all kinds of things have found some resolution. I'm not saying all people, but if you have some of those oddball issues that seem to make life miserable, you just might want to check it out. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for showing up. And thank you, Shakespeare, for the readiness is all. And thank you for coming back and tuning in today with me. Linda Schiller Hanna signing out. God bless. Okay.